Last Thursday, the 20th of January, marked one full year since Joseph Biden was inaugurated. That got me to thinking about how he got there and about a sort of prediction I made shortly after Joe selected Kamala Harris as his running mate. Writers can get, shall we say, attached to our favorite bits of thinking. I'm sure that I mentioned my theory a few times in passing on this channel. It goes like this: Biden will step down in February of 2023. This would make way for the first female president of color, who could then rule the roost for 10 years. 10 years? How so, Dave? Well, FDR was elected 4 times and died in office. As a result, we got the 22nd Amendment, which limits a president to 2 4-year terms. If he or she cannot complete one of those terms, the vice president takes over. If that happens more than halfway through one 4-year span, the VP can finish that term out and still qualify for 2 full terms of his or her own. So if Biden retired after January 2023, Harris would finish out Joe's term and could then run again in 2024. And if elected, she could run once more in 2028. So now that Biden has had a first year that even Democrats are bummed out about, am I still predicting a possible decade of Kamala? Am I still predicting that this is Joe's last year? Well, let's start the truck. Last Wednesday night, Joe held a press conference at the White House. It was long, very long. As I'm inclined to do, I listened to the whole damn thing. I know, not standard practice. Standard practice is for an intern at Fox or OAN to watch the whole thing with instructions to grab the incriminating bits, throw the rest away, and make a 30-second highlight reel. And that is what hard partisans see and retweet and share on Facebook and pretend is the whole story. One of the main reasons that I left the Democrats was Jon Stewart's nightly character assassination of conservatives. I'd begun to fact check the video clips he'd show, clips that made this or that Republican look like an idiot or worse. Almost always I'd find the full clip and the full context, which made that politician look far more reasonable. But most of my then fellow Democrats just accepted Stewart's spin. They wanted to believe the worst about conservatives. When I took on the job of YouTube commentator, I was determined not to become what I despised. I never clipped a video to change its context. And I'm just about the only conservative commentator in captivity who has never called Joe Biden senile. And it's not just conservatives. According to Matt Taibbi, Biden is in steep cognitive decline. He describes Joe as technically alive, but deep into the peeing on houseplants phase. Yes, that Matt Taibbi. I guess dementia jokes are just too juicy to resist, even for a famous Rolling Stone journalist who's now getting rich on Substack. Nearly all of my conservative friends skip Biden's actual appearances, waiting for the highlight reels designed to service their biases. In other words, they do to Biden exactly what the partisan left did to Donald Trump. I've seen dementia up close on many occasions. It seldom takes the form of a guy alone on live TV fielding tough questions for 90 minutes, which is what you saw if you watched the whole press conference. Biden is 79, the oldest president ever. He's always been a gaffe master with an active stuttering circuit in his brain. Heck, he won a stuttering award in 2009. For this guy, the English language is a minefield. Winging it like this can't possibly have been the plan. Joe went rogue last Wednesday night, and he kind of looked like he was having a ball. Biden's approval numbers are not good, just a hair south of 41% according to Real Clear Politics averages. Of itself, that's not unusual. Most recent presidents lost popularity in their first year. Biden's numbers have fallen off at about the same rate as Obama's and Clinton's did. George W. Bush was the exception, but not everybody gets the kind of first-year bump that comes with Americans being slaughtered on our own soil. Biden came into the race way later than the other frontrunners. It was late April 2019. He immediately took the lead. Most Democrat voters were saying they wanted a moderate. Joe seemed to be offering a return to a less divided America, something akin to the Bill Clinton years. Of course, he had to make certain promises to the Bernie Sanders left if he was going to beat Trump. One of these was to choose a female running mate. Was another one a promise to bow out early, automatically installing Harris as the first female president of any color? Joe Biden has always wanted to be president. The Democrats were handing him that on a silver platter if he'd just play nice with the warring factions inside his own party. What else they wanted from him may never be known. One thing is certain, he could not have foreseen what his first year would be like, that he'd be expected to fix whatever zombie hellscape was left behind after Democrats waged all-out war on the social order throughout 2020. But his first 6 months saw a recovering economy. He had good luck with his spending bill. He exceeded his promised vaccination numbers. But after that came the Afghanistan dumpster fire, followed by the killer Delta variant. Joe pleaded with people to get the shots, which made millions of disgruntled Trumpers swear never to take the jab. Handing off to young Kamala must have crossed his mind. You've heard me talk about the aging lefty bucket list and how desperately ancient activists want a female president. This to be followed by a Black female president, Hispanic president, gay president, indigenous president, Muslim president, and trans president, in that order. Aging activists still hold real power in liberal politics. They were frantic to unseat Trump. Polling said that only Joe could do that, but they were just as hungry to keep the young AOC progressives from taking a powder on November 3rd. Joe knew this, and he made his move. By obediently selecting a Blackish gal as running mate, he looked to be giving hard progressives, old and young, a threefer. First VP with dark skin, first with a vagina, and a real shot at first female president of color. Maybe even for 10 years. I'm guessing that old Joe played them by letting them think they were playing him. They were so giddy about getting a woman of color within one heart attack of the Oval Office that they forgot how cringy Kamala can be. You think Joe's numbers are bad? Check out Cammie's. While pretending to give Democrats every reason to retire him early, Joe picking Harris for VP may actually have guaranteed him the full 4 years and the nomination in 2024. All he has to do is be less beatable than her, and the Dems won't let him retire. This brings us back to the presser on the 1-year anniversary of Inauguration Eve. History might remember last Wednesday's event as Joe's coming out party. While his handlers were having a group aneurysm backstage, old Joe was cutting the puppet strings in no uncertain terms. What's the best thing about being an old guy? You stop caring what people think about you. It's sure as hell happening to me. Joe Biden's in better shape than most people think, and he finally seems to be at home in the White House. Once Omicron gets the pandemic off his back by infecting the entire country with a case of the sniffles, Joe can get out there on the town hall circuit and do what he does best. Show us some of that old lunchbox Joe mojo. You know, poke some people with a stiff finger, challenge the rabble to push-up contests, call somebody a dog-faced pony soldier. Good times. I now predict that he'll give up gesturing to the hard left and become a halfway decent Clinton-esque president. Right up until 2024, when Ron DeSantis and Kristi Noem send him into retirement once and for all. But hey, what do I know? Thanks for watching. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel and then click the little bell to get notifications.